Zito tonight had a shutout of two-hit style for 6 innings. He left after 7 1/3 with a 4-hitter, had a 3-1 lead in the ball game before the doings in the 9th inning against the bullpen changed the tenor of the night. Gary once again coming up with little run support, but it was enough to give him the lead before he left. And Zito tonight, I thought, had great stuff out there and actually didn't give up anything until a Sexton home run in the 7th inning of the ball game. But if you try to dissect this game, you can go back and say the A's missed chances against Moyer to get substantial leads. A leadoff double by Chavez in the 2nd inning. He went only as far as 3rd. A leadoff triple by Crosby in the 4th inning, and he went only nowhere as far as 3rd also. And then finally, of course, in that 9th inning, when they were trying to pad a 3-1 lead and had the bases loaded, only to see Crosby tap into a 1-2-3 double play. So those were some of the pivotal moments of the night that kept the A's from getting enough cushion to withstand the late Seattle rally, and the A's left 13 on for the night. Let's take it as it came after the A's had the disappointment in that 2nd inning of not getting Chavez home after the leadoff double. Looked for sure like Crosby was going to be the entree to a run in the 4th.
0-2 pitch, a fly ball to right center. Ichiro going over and reaches up and can't get it. It's by him and goes to the wall. Reed plays the carom. Crosby's around second. He's going to 3rd with a dive with a 3-base hit. Bobby Crosby triples to right center, leading off in the top of the 4th. That ball really carried to right center.
But Moyer, as a cagey veteran he is, looking for his 199th win in tonight's ball game, popped up Chavez. Then with the infield in, Bobby Kelty made his bid, but the Mariners had a counter to it.
A's and Mariners scoreless in the 4th. And Moyer's pitch to Kelty is a one-hopper, a diving play at second by Boone. He gets up and throws him out. Sensational play by Brett Boone, saving a run for Seattle, diving to his right to the backhand side. Out number 2, and Crosby has to hold at 3rd. And still no score.
Meantime, while through 6 innings, as we mentioned, Zito had pitched shutout baseball. He allowed only 2 runners as far as second base, 2 walks, and 2 hits in that time. In the top of the 6th, the A's made another bid for the 3rd inning in the game. They got the leadoff man on. This was Kendall with a single to center field. But Kotsay flied to right. With Crosby batting, Kendall stole second base and went to 3rd on a throwing error by the catcher Rivera. With only 1 out, the A's might be able to get a run home on an out. But Crosby lined to left, too shallow for Kendall to try to score. So it was all up to Eric Chavez. Now the set and the pitch. And a ground ball just over 3rd down the left field line. And coming home is Kendall racing for second. Chavez slides and catches the bag with his hand, safe. And the A's get on the board with 2 out. Chavez just nudging one inside 3rd down the left field line past a diving attempt by Beltray. Boy, it wasn't by much, but it just got in the bag. Kelty couldn't get him home, though, as he was a strikeout victim of Moyer. Eric Burns in the 7th inning got things rolling with a triple over win off the scoreboard atop the wall in left field. And rookie Dan Johnson, who continued to have a good series, was the guy to try to get him in.
Moyer set and delivers. Here's the 1-1. Swung on rip to right. Ichiro back, turning around, reaching up, makes a running backhanded catch on the track. Tagging at 3rd is Burns to score on a deep sac fly to right field by Dan Johnson as the A's take a 2-0 lead. Good play by Ichiro. But the ball right now, Bill, is jumping off the bat of Dan Johnson.
Sounds terrific every time he makes contact. Richie Sexton led off in the 7th inning. He was fighting a long slump during this lengthy homestand of the Mariners, and he's only 2 for 27 against the A's this year.
2-1 pitch on the way. Tito to Sexton, and it's swung on and ripped. Deep left center field. Kotsay back at the track. He's going to watch, and that's gone. Left center field shot by Richie Sexton, his 16th home run, and that gets Seattle on the board. 2-1 Athletic.
Only his 3rd hit in 28 at-bats against the A's this year.
And very little has come easy for Barry Zito this year. And right now in this 7th inning, he's locked up in a 2-1 ball game.
Later in the inning, a single, and is hitting Morse with a pitch with 2 out, put 2 on. But he got the rookie catcher Rivera to hit into a force out, ending the threat and keeping the A's up by a score of 2-1. When the A's came up in the 8th inning, any kind of a cushion was going to be welcome, and Kotze got things rolling, beating out an infield hit. Crosby drew a base on balls, and then Chavez flied out to right field. After the fly ball, Kotze tagged up and went to third, putting runners at the corners, and then that was the start of the call to the bullpen. There would be 5 relievers worked tonight in the Seattle victory. It was J.J. Putz who came on to pitch to Kelty. It took 1 pitch for Kelty to get the job done.
Rivera sets up outside. The infield is double play depth. And Putz with a pitch and a fly ball to left. Wynn going back. That'll score the run. Wynn goes back to the track and makes the catch. Kotze tags at third to score. And now it's 3-1 Athletic. Crosby holding at first. The second sack fly for the A's tonight.
The Mariners went 1-2-3 in their half of the 8th after Zito retired Ichiro with his 115th pitch. Kiko Calero came in to get the next 2 hitters. And so through 8, the A's were nursing that 3-1 lead. And in the 9th, it looked like it would be more. Dan Johnson drew a base on balls. Scutaro was out trying to bunt, but Kendall singled, and so did Kotze. But the base hits were too sharp to try to get a run home. The bases were loaded for Bobby Crosby, as Putz was in deep trouble, but he made the pitch that got him out with a bouncer to the mound, a 1-2-3 double play, and the A's could not get the insurance run. And that came home to haunt them before the night was over. Sexton led off the bottom of the 9th with a single to deep short. Calero gave way to Rincon to face the left-hand batting Ibanez, who drilled a single to right field. Runners were at first and second, advanced by Boone's sacrifice to second and third. But then Rincon struck out Reed swinging, and there were 2 out, and the A's now needed just that 1 precious out to get that 5th consecutive win. Mike Morse, who's been a sensation since being called up at the start of the month, was in and stayed in to hit, and Justin Duxer came in for his 4th appearance in 5 ball games, and this time Morse once again gave the fans a thrill here at Safeco. Willie Bloomquist on a run at second base, carrying the possible tying run. He replaces Ibanez. Bloomquist slipped the foot, and now Morse striding into the batter's box. Big decision time in the 9th inning at Seattle. The A's outfield spread out. Infield back all the way around. Duxer's first pitch. Swing and a line drive. Base hit to right. Played by Kelty. Here comes a throw to the plate. 1 run in. Tie game. Throw to second base. Trying to go to second. Safe at second base is Morse. And the rookie has tied the game on the first pitch by Duxer here in the bottom of the 9th. Holy Toledo. Then Duxer got the final out as he retired the dangerous pinch-hitting veteran Dave Hansen, and so he went to extra innings. The A's threatened in the 10th against Matt Thornton with a single by Chavez and a sacrifice that moved him up. Julio Mateo came in, gave up an intentional walk to Scott Hatterberg, and retired Burns on a ground ball, leaving runners at second and third. The call went to the left-hander Ron Ballone to pitch to Johnson, who flied out to right field, and once again the A's had to go to the bottom of the 10th defending the tie, and Duxer was up to the task. Amazingly, in that 4th appearance in 5 nights, 2 strikeouts of Ichiro and Wynn, and he got Beltre on a routine ground ball. So in the 11th inning, could the A's do anything? Nope. 1-2-3 this time against Ballone, and in the bottom half of the 11th, Ryan Glynn came on, although he gave up a 1-out single to Bloomquist. He struck out both Boone and Reed, and we went further into the 9th. And the A's looked like they might have been able to salvage this one in that 12th inning. After a 1-out Chavez single, he was at second on an infield out. He stole third while Eddie Guardado, who started the inning, was pitching to pinch hitter Mark Ellis. And Ellis battled him, fouling off several pitches and drew a walk, giving Eric Burns a shot at making a significant impact. Burns hitting .345 against lefties. Lines it down the right field line. That's a base hit. It'll scoot on into the corner. Chavez is in with a tie-breaking run, and Ellis grounds to third, and goes back. Now the ball rolls loose, but just a few feet from the plate up the third baseline. And in at second base with an off-field high-breaking double, Eric Burns. 4-3 Athletic. But the A's couldn't get either Burns or Ellis home as Johnson flied out on the first pitch he saw. But that one-run lead, it looked like it could be enough, particularly when Glenn struck out Morse to start the bottom of the 12th inning. Then Pat Borders fouled off a few pitches before dropping a single into center field. The pivotal play followed on Ichiro's ground ball, which came back to the mound. Glenn turned and threw to Crosby right over the bag at second, but it sort of handcuffed him. He dropped the ball. They got no outs there, and the opportunity was presented to Randy Wynn with runners at first and second. Now Glenn ready. Here it is. A bouncing ball to Chavez. Bounces over his head. Here comes a time run to the plate. Burns bobbles. No chance for a play. Tie game. A bouncer that took a high hop. Chavez was not played deep. He was up fairly close to the base path, and it was over his head. Scoring from second base is Borders. Burns might have had a play had he picked it up cleanly.
I tell you, you're right, because I think Jeff Newman with very aggressive base coaching at third base to try to score Borders there, but it became moot when Burns fouled it.
And, of course, now the winning run was at second base in the person of the fleet-footed Ichiro, and Sexton, who had sort of revived his offense when he hit that home run in the seventh inning, was the man at the plate. Glenn's pitch, breaking ball, driven to left field, base hit. Ichiro around third on the way to the plate, throw to the plate on the way. Safe on the side ahead of the throw, and the Mariners come back to win it. 2 in the ninth to tie it, 2 in the 12th to win it, and the A's bid to become a 5-game winning streak going into the finale of this series is turned back by late-inning heroics by the Mariners. Richie Sexton, with his third base hit of the night, delivers the game-winning run. Ichiro slides across the plate. Final score, the Mariners 5. The A's score in 12. And there's the story of a long night and a tough night for the A's, a salvation night for the Mariners, but winning series is the name of the game right now for the A's, and they can do it tomorrow behind Saarloos against Franklin. And if so, consider it a successful visit to the Northwest despite tonight's